I have a confession to make. For a long time, I thought that having this big, beautiful art studio space meant that I had finally made it. To the outside world and to my ego, this space meant that I was finally successful as an artist. It was all there and everyone could see it. It was beautiful and it was exactly what I thought I was supposed to want. Last year, a quiet, uncomfortable truth began to wake me up in the middle of the night. This beautiful space was quietly draining me, draining the life out of me. I'd fallen completely into the trap of constant doing. There was always so much to do. I was getting to the studio earlier and earlier in the day, having fewer days off, always had new projects on the run. I was spending all my time managing the logistics and showing up to do what I thought I was expected to do, all the physical demands of running a business, buying more and more things that I thought I needed but really didn't. Um, and it was no longer fitting in with who I felt I was. And I realised that I was mentoring other women on creating me time, on what creativity really should be, and that it was a part of your hobby, it was a part of your self-expression. But here I was in my studio creating what I thought other people wanted to buy. I was running my art studio like a business because that's what it was. My creative soul was paying the price as well as my nervous system. So I made a choice it scared me. I decided to let it go. I decided to let go of all the expectations that I had of myself and that I assumed others had of me, which we can't actually know. And I decided to close the studio down. Welcome back to my true sanctuary. If you're new to my world, then my name is Michelle Abelson, and this is my floating studio home. When I first entertained the idea of closing the studio, it felt like a huge failure at first because the world tells us that growth is about expanding, bigger spaces, more stuff. It's not about letting go, and it's certainly not about quitting, or so we think. But true transformation requires a different kind of bravery. The bravery to be authentic, the bravery to know what's right for you, requires the courage to get unstuck by clearing out the things that are zapping at your energy. I realised that my nervous system didn't want expansion. I'd left the hustle culture ages ago, and here I was back in it, only with a different face. What I wanted was simplicity. I wanted to be able to create as a hobby things that I enjoyed doing in my own time for me, not what I thought other people would buy, and certainly not on demand. I wanted soft energy, and I also realised that one of the things I enjoyed most from having the studio was the people that came into my life and how I was able to mentor them and how I built relationships. This has always been important to me. So I brought my creative life back here. I moved back to my floating home studio, and this is where I feel most at peace. So just being around the water is so soothing to my soul. Um, it's so wonderful for me. Just being able to look out there, see the water, walk out, and the many changing ways it flows and the colours. I just find it beautiful. By downsizing my environment and all the things that I thought I had to do, I gave myself a blank canvas, and I now have blank canvases ready to go. And I can breathe again. I traded the high friction of a commercial space where I was working to set hours, even when I didn't feel like it, for a more wealthy currency of peace and tranquility, solitude, quiet time, alignment, and much more beauty around me. I still have my beautiful paintings, but I also am surrounded by nature more, right there. Part of this alignment journey means that I'm completely redesigning how I share my gifts with the world. As you know, I have this YouTube channel, so this is where I'll be sharing more and more of what I do. I knew I was done with all those exhausting demands, and I needed to find a way that I could share and work when I felt creative, but still take time off to do all the other things I enjoy doing when I wanted to do it. Moving my business behind the scenes into a more automated digital sanctuary where I can work in my own time. I'll be combining all my years of experience in nursing and yoga and life coaching, hypnotherapy, mind training, and identity work, as well as all the healing work that I've done over the years, to bring it all together into tools that can help other women find and reinvent and transform their own lives, because that's what brings me joy. Assets that I create once with deep intention when I'm feeling at my most creative will then run automatically from my website, and they'll be serving women not just in the groups that came in to do the classes, but globally, which excites me. I'll be able to paint when I want to and offer my work as collections rather than paint what I think people want. They'll be more, they'll come from a more creative, aligned and authentic part of myself. I've still got all my stuff from the studio. It's in a shed and in storage with, so I can get to everything easily when I want to, and I can just work on one piece at a time in this smaller space, because it is a small space, and have exhibitions when I feel like it without the demands of having to go, every day to the studio. So this YouTube channel, well, it started off to be about CPTSD, and then I did art tutorials, and I wasn't really sure what I was doing, but I realized that all of that was about, I was trying to share healing and beauty and combining those two together. And I didn't know how to do it, but I do now. I know that creating beauty is medicine, and that there's so many different ways we can create beauty in our lives and create a beautiful life. And it goes out to not just affect us, but it affects everyone around us. It'll be for women that are feeling lost or stuck or just not knowing who they are anymore. I've been there many times and rediscovered who I am and stepped up and stepped up and stepped up. And it is so worth it. I'll be using my own real life transition as a blueprint to show you what's possible. As I said, I've done this a few times, and every time I do it, I get quicker at it. It doesn't take that emotional roller coaster it used to when I was first beginning to work all this out. I've now worked out the steps, and I'm so keen to be able to share those with you. You don't need to completely burn your old life to the ground or completely reinvent yourself, because part of you is still in there. It's more about tweaking what you already have, finding parts of yourself and finding new parts of yourself, because as we age, what we like does change. And it's about being able to feel safe while we adapt to those changes and enjoy them. So if you'd like to see how this could help you, or stick around to hear more of my story, then please subscribe. I'll be creating some digital workbooks and downloads and courses for you with easy step-by-step instructions that you can follow as well. And I'd love to see and hear your comments on your journey. I'll see you in the next session. Take care of your beautiful energy, and bye for now.